open, so come on in. Sound check done, let's begin. Breaking news, the guess is you. Streaming live for you to view. Open House the podcast. Open House the podcast. Oh.
Something ever. Wow, heart out.
Good morning. I mean, good afternoon.
And good night if we were Jim Carrey.
11 is that weird time where it feels like the afternoon already, but
it's
like
not though.
Basically the morning.
But
still.
it basically is. When do you feel the afternoon starts? When does your morning start?
Well, my mornings usually start like 6:30 or 7.
Like, do you think? Like, I'm one of those people where, like, morning starts when my morning starts. Does that make sense?
It does, because I wake up and I do a lot of things.
Do you wake up and then put on a lot of makeup because you wanted to?
Well, sometimes, yeah, I do.
Some people are out there. You don't get that reference at all, do you?
No, I don't.
Wake up.
I wake up, I go to the gym, and then I come home, get ready for work, eat. But then it's like the morning doesn't feel like ready or going yet until I get to the office.
Really? That's when your morning starts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've been one of those people. It's weird because if I get in really late at night, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, to me, that's still evening, you know, no matter what the rest of the world thinks. If I haven't gone to bed yet, it's still that night, the night before, you know?
Yeah, that's not right.
No, it isn't. But why couldn't it be?
It could be.
You know?
Now, if it's like, if we're creeping upon like 5, I think that's when the night has to cut off, is 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, 4:40 or 4:59.
40:59?
Yeah.
49er?
4:59.
So did I ever tell you about the time that I came up with the idea that I wasn't going to live on anybody else's time?
No.
I know this is what I just realized as I hear myself. I'm like, I'm going to be one of those crazy old people that's like, remember the time that I invented my own animal? I got this idea, and I really still think this. Well, you know, one of the things that's an advantage to being an entrepreneur and not being stuck on the average person's, you know, timeline is you get the option, and it's both a blessing and a curse. You get the option to create your own timeline, right?
Yeah.
So I said, if I get to create my own time, so in Michigan, we have daylight savings time. Now, daylight savings time, which we're on right now, is the time frame that I love. Like, I wish that we stayed like this.
All of us, we all wish.
All year. Yeah. I don't like the whole, so let's go and switch in the wintertime so that when you wake up in the morning, it's dark, and then you get to go home when it's dark, and you never get any sunlight at all.
It's horrible, and we're creeping upon that time again.
Yeah.
One of those things.
It's just one of those things. So
that was a good one. No.
You like that? You got that one, but you didn't get the other one?
No.
The other one was System of the Down. I love this time frame. So what that means is that in the winter time, it would be, you know, you would if my thought was we're just talking about an hour, and since I make my own schedule, instead of getting out at 5, which becomes 6 because we move ahead an hour, right? I'm sticking to this time frame. I'm going to ignore what everybody else does, and I'm just going to shift everything up.
Because we're going back, right?
Yeah.
So
instead of going to the office at 8 in the morning, I'll go at 7 in the morning, so I can get out at 4 at night and run my day in that time period.
Absolutely.
And everybody else can kind of, and it's one of the things that's neat. So I tried that as an experiment, and I did it, and it kind of works, but it gets so difficult because nobody else does that. You know, everybody else wants to do dinner, and so you know your 4 o'clock is their 7 o'clock, and for some odd reason 9 o'clock, and I do really bad time math, but nothing seems to line up, which makes sense because you're running on a different hour, right? But you'd think that you'd be able to make it work, and it was difficult. I might try that again. I might just try it again.
You're just altering ultimately you'd be altering your time of sleep.
Yeah, well,
You're just
which
going
you
to
could
bed
do
an hour
anyway.
earlier.
And
overnight.
waking up and
So
your
you're
time of
eating
waking
dinner
up.
an hour earlier. You're having maybe not lunch an hour earlier. But
Yeah. No, everything. Yeah. Why not? You know, you'd have
I
lunch at
guess.
11. What is the difference
11.
between doing a lunch at 11 and a lunch at 12?
Honestly.
That's an hour. But you got to remember, for me, see, here's where this gets weird. For me, it doesn't feel any different. I'm not the one changing my time. Everybody else is. I've always eaten at this time. We call it 11 or we call it
it's
noon.
just weird because the light.
It
it's
is weird.
Dark.
I just want light the whole time.
I know.
I just want, that's what I want,
It's dark
the light
at
time.
like it's really dark at like 5 p.m. Though.
It's the worst. It's the worst. I want light for as long as possible.
You just gotta wake up extremely early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get the most out of the
Do you
morning
wake
sun.
up early enough to watch the sunrise now when you get up? Do you get a chance to see it?
Not some days, but not really. No,
Not a lot. No.
No, usually by the sun rays, it's like 5:50 or a.m. that the
Changes
sun's
every
up.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my more enjoyable things in the morning
I love it.
is when you're up and nobody else is really there and you're like part of the people that it's like we're all looking at each other.
I experience it in the wintertime, though.
Do you?
Yeah, like the winter.
When
and
when
fall.
when it gets pushed back and the sun's finally rising during the time you rise,
Exactly.
it catches up to you.
Yeah.
See, but if we switched to my time, it wouldn't do that. You'd miss it altogether. Uh-oh.
Because you'd be waking up in the dark.
No, because the sunrise, if we stayed with this time, the sun would never catch up to you. The sun's catching up to you because you're waking up late. So then the sun wakes up late in the wintertime because it switches to daylight
You know
normal
what?
time.
One thing that sucks in the wintertime about waking up like that early is it's so hard for me to wake up and get moving and going when it's still dark outside.
It is.
It just feels wrong.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm that pre-break of dawn guy. Like I just love that time frame. I just love when the little beads of light show and again, you're one of the few people and you go to that one speedway and like everybody else that's getting ready for their days getting their
The same
coffee and you see the
people
same
every morning.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's a bustling world out there and it's fun to be part of it early in the morning. That's right? That's right, right? I can use it that way.
Think
Yeah, it is what it
that
is.
sounded right.
We started by me telling you that I wanted to talk to you about this crazy adventure that I had going into last week, and you are not prepared for this at all. So this will be fun. But Summer, it turns out that I am a really horrible how would I put this? Comedian guest audience member. I'm an awful audience member. I am, yes. And I am really super surprised at this. Okay. So
At a comedy show.
at
That's
a comedy
what it
show.
is.
Yeah.
We're saying comedian.
Comedian. I'm all, but I make up for it by being an excellent speaker mater, communa speaker.
Yeah.
But I am really actually surprised at this, and I had this experience, and I was like, man, I'm bringing this up on the show for a couple different reasons. Number one, I got the opportunity to take a comedian to a show he was doing in Grand Rapids, and dude was really cool. He gets me in, puts me on the list so I can go in and watch the show. Now I have watched comedians on YouTube. I've seen the, heckler ruins the whole thing and the comedian's like, nobody's here to see you. Like, I get all this. Like, I understand this stuff, right? Like, I'm big into watching this stuff online. And I'm like, those people are idiots, right? Some. Let me tell you what happened.
What'd you do?
Well, here's it is. So first off, so I get called out, right? Now, it's funny because in life, and we talked last week about perspective, it's really easy to watch the person online and be like, oh man, that chick doesn't get it. Like the show's not about her, right? And she's just like going and going and going. When you're in that position, so we're at this show, like literally there's like the comedian, he really downplayed how big of a deal he was. Like this place was full, right?
Okay,
And it
who
was
the comedian.
It was, well, I'll get to that because that's at the very end of my thing here. But the place was really full, and there was like a seat, and it was the word, it was right where this beam was. And so, he makes a shout out, asks if I'm actually in the audience, right? Now, at that moment, my brain shut off for some reason. And it was the weirdest thing because, again, what ends up happening if you're ever in this position is you feel like everybody disappears and it becomes this really funny, interactive, like it is just you, right? Like that's how my brain took over. Like, oh, cool. He just called me out, right? Now, unfortunately, the other thing that happened, he called me out. Now, as somebody that's also studied improv, the thing that you got to understand if you're at a comedy show is it's the comedian's job is he's the one that's supposed to make everybody laugh. It's his job, right? You don't need to help. But if you know anything about comedy and especially improv, if you do want to help your scene partner, everything is yes and, right? Whatever they say, you say yes and blank, right? And it just helps the thing go along. Man, I forgot all that. And unfortunately, now he doesn't know this. He doesn't know this. But he started off the bang with a joke that he doesn't know, and he was being sarcastic. But with all the crap that I dealt with the week before and all the, the visits and stuff like that, it was just the wrong joke at the wrong time that he didn't know. So it turned my heel brain on. Do you know what a heel is? It's a wrestling term. Wrestling. You got the good guys and the bad guys. So instantly, now I'm all like, all right. So instead of being the fun guy, whatever, like my heel brain turned on. And it felt like it was just me and him. So, so he calls me out and then I make a stupid comment back and I ended up becoming the guy. I became the guy.
Well, what was said? Now you have to say it.
I can't. I really can't. I legally can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, you brought it up on the show, though.
I did, but I'm not saying what it's about.
Yeah,
right,
no,
yeah.
That's okay.
All
Just
the crap
leave
that I had to
people
go through
guessing.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just leave people guessing.
Yeah, you don't need to guess. It's just a bunch of stuff that was untrue that was said about me, and then he went up there and literally... I'll tell you after the show. The fact that you're confused confuses me because you should know what I had to go through.
No, I'm just confused on what the comedian said.
Oh, he didn't know. He had no idea, and so. I can't say it because the last thing I need is somebody clipping this and then showing up to court with me next week and being like, I just clipped this one part, No,
yeah.
So that's the last thing I need. But I all of a sudden become this audience member that wants to make the quick comment back, which is a huge mistake. I should have just ended it and then let him take the ball. And he mentioned that. And I was like, it was weird because I was like, I knew this. And then he gives you another shot, right? So he calls back, makes a call back, right? So now we're in this friendly banter. And it went all off the rails. And then there was this one point in time where he's asking for keys. Of course, I've got keys. He knows I have keys. I go to give him my keys. And I can't help but feel like it's all about just me and him. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And as much as I wanted to stop myself, I couldn't. I'm just like, and then he handled it appropriately.
Yeah.
Which was really nice.
That sounds like a good time.
But I'll tell you, it's a weird thing to be in front of an entire sold out room of people, and then you're that guy.
I would hate it.
And so what do? You double down, right? Well, if I'm gonna be that guy, I'm gonna be that guy, right? And it was the wrong move. So anyway, but I brought that up because I thought it was really, really interesting. So this is my open apology to Rick Glassman. Everybody should follow him. He's an awesome comedian. And he handled it great, though. But I definitely threw him through a loop. But like all pros, he could handle it. And he did. And yeah, I sucked. That's an audience member. Well, you say that. I'd like to hear him say that. He's got to say that. I bet you wouldn't. I bet you'd accept the apology. He's a good dude, though. I know for sure he would. So there is my open admittance and apology to Rick Glassman. But I would also like to say it's really interesting as I was reliving this, because why the crap am I bringing this up on this podcast?
It's okay.
You ready for this?
Okay.
Whew. How many times are we bad audience members when we're at our client's show?
Okay, what do you mean?
Here's exactly what I mean. I was actually, and this whole thing came together the other day because I was going through and I was listening to agents and the calls that they were making through the database. And on our team, we did this fun thing where we kind of rotated calls. So another agent would call my database just to see where people were at and then push them to another agent. So we did this really fun thing. So I was listening to these calls. And it's interesting because, when you read scripts, the really good scripts that are written for stuff, they always ask open-ended questions. When I taught you a script, right? Open-ended question. Looks like you're moving. Congratulations. What areas are you interested in? Stop. Right? Because why? It's their show.
Yeah.
What are they trying to build?
Yeah.
And what's interesting is salespeople, we do this all the time. Well, it looks like you're, what areas are you interested in? West Bloomfield? Are you trying to be close to a certain school? Or we always keep adding stuff onto it. And it's crazy because then you get the person, well, no, I was just, I like the way that the stairwell
You
looks.
just stop and you need to listen.
That's the thing. You ask questions and then you listen.
I bet that's a good way for agents to even, learn that doing through cold calls or whatever, and then put that into your real life with people in real conversations.
Because people on phones aren't real conversations.
No, like when you're talking with your friends, or when whatever. Sometimes you just need to stop and listen.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
it's interesting because as salespeople, there's three main reasons why we do this. So one of the worst cases is like I was literally with an agent and they were showing a home and the person had all the buying signals of the world. And then the agent themselves, listen, if you got somebody that went through a home and this is the home that they want to buy, you shouldn't go, well, we got 2 more homes to see. Let's see if you like either of those any better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe ask them if they still want to see the other houses, but usually they'll tell you.
Listen, why? But even then, look, if this is the house that you want to buy.
Because I guess you just have to cross-check with the clients.
Yeah.
But like if they don't want to go, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, cool.
we already
maybe
did
we
this.
should go.
Listen,
anyway, even though you don't want to.
The buying signals are very simple. Oh, I love this house. It's the best house ever. Great. Would you like to make it? And I think we talked about this before. Like the thing that, by the way, side note, that was completely gross. I don't know if anybody, we can replay that. Kevin, other Kevin. I'm just going to have to start. Okay, there it is. Other Kevin. Replay. This microphone is like quicksand. And that was the grossest thing that I've ever done. And I feel like, why are you touching it? Don't touch it.
I'm just trying to understand. I'll wash my hands.
Okay.
I don't touch my face or anything.
Don't. This microphone is moist.
Okay.
And when I just touched it with my nose, I can smell this microphone and it won't go away.
Oh, that sucks.
You're about to watch me freak out live on the show.
Calm down.
Do you have hand sanitizer in your purse?
Don't.
Holy crap, it won't come out of my nose. I am not, you know me, the fact I'm even wearing these headphones is already bothering. Am I tearing up right now? I feel like I'm tearing up right now. This is
You're
not
okay.
good.
Just calm
All
down.
right, we're doing good.
Take a deep breath. You're
Do
fine.
the breathing.
What is happening?
It's not good. I am not good with sticky stuff.
It's okay.
I watched somebody.
You can wash your face 30 minutes. We're done.
I know, but by that
we could cut it to
time,
20.
I watched a person in New York take a piece of gum off of a rail and chew it.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah.
All right, what you focus on expands.
Just stop thinking about it.
What were we talking about? Because this microphone's in my brain. Being the audience member, if you have a person that hang on, let me just fix my face.
It was just stopping.
If you have a person, if you just stop and listen, there it is.
There it is.
It's funny too because one of the things that I hear people do all the time on the phone is they make excuses for the other person or they add that in. And one of the things that I taught you guys, and you might remember, and I always taught agents, is don't assume for the person. Let the person tell you what's happening, right? Let them explain their life and their story. I love Scott Muska taught me the magic wand script. I've heard it before. The way he does it, he uses it in a lot of different scenarios. I've heard him use it in any type of sales call.
Yeah.
And I always thought I always thought it was kind of lame. I'm not going to lie. I always thought it was kind of lame. Like, you know, here's two dudes, right? And we're like, if I had a magic wand and a skirt and all this other stuff, right? But story and fact.
You might have to re-explain the story because I'm lost.
Okay, so it starts out with I have to go to the store to buy myself a skirt. And then once you're in the skirt, you got to get a crown, tiara, right? Then a magic wand, and then bippity boppity boop. You know, a fairy.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I should this was Are you lost? Are you completely lost?
Yeah.
This microphone is in my head. I'm trying to make sense.
It's okay.
So the magic wand is of script. So let's just say that it's related to the housing, right? If I had it, listen, we're inside this house right now. Is this house what you would? Well, let's role play it live. Hi, Miss Buyer, right?
Hello.
We're inside. Hello. Would you like some tea and crumpets? We're inside this house right now. Do you want to buy it?
I really like it, and I think I'd like to put in an offer.
Okay, perfect. Now let's pretend that there's something, you're not telling me what it is, but let's just say you're an 8 out of 10 on it, all right?
Okay.
Hey, Miss Buyer, would you like to buy this house?
I'd like to definitely sleep on it. I've seen a few more that I want to go tour.
Perfect. Let me ask you a question. If we had a magic wand and we could just wave it in the air and it would magically make this house exactly what you're picturing or imagining, what would change?
The foam would be purple.
The foam would be purple. So you're literally thinking you're going to buy this room. Okay, good. I like it, though. I agree. Purple foam, I'm for that.
Yeah.
So let's do this. So is that really important to you to have purple foam?
Yeah.
What if we could make it, because the next two homes that we're looking at, they don't have foam in the houses. What if we could get the seller to pay for the purple foam to be inside this home? Is that the only thing that's holding you up?
I guess that would be cool, but how do you get the seller to pay for purple foam?
Well, that's where I come in. And that's why I'm the best at what I do. And boom, now, all right, let's put an offer in contingent on purple foam. Perfect. Easy. $500 worth of foam. I'll make a seller do it. I've gotten sellers to do crazy things. Yeah. What's the craziest thing? Have you ever had a contract with some cool stuff? Like you got free lawn care service for somebody, or
no.
a door replaced, or no?
I mean, nothing. Well, yeah. I was just going through this deal. We didn't end up following through and getting the house or anything like that.
Okay.
But the pool was getting updated. That's normal, right? But the garage door too, I don't know. I guess I don't see that super often.
Yeah.
I don't understand that completely too. If the house is already listed and like if there's like these big things that you wanted to fix, or you know, the big stuff, not the oddities.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you fix that before you put it on the market?
That's a great question, and I will answer both aspects of that. I am one of the people. This is great. I'm one of the people that actually will deter my seller away if I think it's in their best interest from fixing that stuff before they put it on the market.
No, absolutely, I agree. But I actually just had this really, I don't even know if I can talk about it, but
sure you can.
I just had a really interesting deal where basically we had like a verbal acceptance.
Yeah.
And then they went in and kind of changed their mind. I don't want to talk too much about this.
That's
but,
okay.
But it was definitely
You don't
just
have to use names, but you're absolutely allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
Okay.
But
were you on the buy side or the sell side?
The buy side.
Okay.
It was just a weird, situation. Then they changed their mind because they figured, maybe they could get more money.
Oh, it was the seller that switched their mind.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was just weird. And then all of a sudden they're doing these updates, and it was just craziness.
See, the problem with that is, again, they could go ahead and put all those updates in and then overspend. Like, imagine okay, let's use a different scenario. Let's just say that in this scenario, the seller is selling a home and the bathroom and the kitchen need to be updated.
Yeah.
All right? The bathroom's got carpet in it. Well, the seller might think to themselves, all right, I'll put $50,000 in and get everything completely redone. And then they go and get like the cheap granite, and it's like, and it doesn't match the rest of the upholstery. And then they decide for the floors upstairs in the bathroom that they're going to put just plain vanilla white tile down, but it doesn't match the sink anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and again, every person is different, but sometimes it's better just to have that discussion with the seller and be like, you know what I'd recommend? why don't we, there's two ways around that we can go through this. Number one, you absolutely can do that. You can sell it for more. You can do that, right? Or we can also see what the market says. Now, again, there's two sides to everything. Some people, they want move-in ready. They want all that to be done already, right? But other people, like, they're going to go, if you're going to go that route, especially if you know what they're about to do, they'd rather put their own floor in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then get it exactly how they want.
Yeah, that was ultimately like
That's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so now you fixed something that didn't necessarily need to be fixed. And I've had that happen time and time again. People will rip carpet up and then they'll put linoleum down and you know, try to cheap out of it. And all of a sudden people are like, why wouldn't you put hardwood in?
Yeah.
You know, and then it's different. Meanwhile, if we would have just left to negotiations, we could have negotiated all that stuff in. So I think that's where it goes. You know, and again, it's not a blanket. Every single offer is different. But I really like to connect those offers that are very unique. Like, I love unique stuff. I love figuring out, how can we make this work outside of money? Like, how can we negotiate something else like crazy? Like, is there a goat we could trade? Like, think about how real estate used to be done, right? Like, real estate used to be done like, hey, I'm going to give you half my goats and my 2 daughters, and I'm going to take this land and make some apples on it. That's for real, right? And we've lost that. Like, maybe not like the second half, but like, why can't we put more stuff into deals and get more creative? And
you can, absolutely.
Sellers are, you know, and there's some creative deals that we've gotten put together. And you know, when the market starts to turn, you've got to get more creative with deals, because something's got to make you stick out. And if we go into the era again where everybody's offering the $100,000 and over, like, what is it that you could do if you don't have that can make you stick out? You know, I've told you, I think, the story about the stained glass window and making that part of the offer to get a deal accepted. Like, there's things that we can do, but it also comes down to, in order to be able to do that, going back to, you know, making a full circle on what we were talking about, it goes back to that active listening process, right? Walking through a house and really listening to your buyer, or walking through with a seller. There's so many agents that don't understand highest and best doesn't always mean the most money. If you have a seller that has 2 mortgages and there's a guy that comes in, you know, and he's like ready to close tomorrow, he comes in with cash, and, you know, the other guy's a mortgage, it's going to take 30 days to get done or something like that. He hasn't even started the process. Your guy's ready to go because he's got to get to California for some reason, right? To help with the wildfires or whatever. It's in your client's best interest not to necessarily take the best and the longest, but who's going to get it done the fastest. And a lot of that comes back to what's really important. That's a question that, were you ever taught that question? What's important to your seller? Have you ever heard that? Shame on me if you haven't.
I mean, I'm most likely. I haven't had lots and lots of experience listing houses.
So this is good for listings, but it's great if you're working with a buyer's agent. Back in the day, this was one of the things that we were trained on, and I really haven't heard many people use this. And that's to actually call the listing agent when you're working with a buyer and ask them, what's most important to your seller? And I do this, I just forget about it.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's not always going to be money. And what's crazy is, and here's the thing, going back to active listening, people are always surprised when I come back and I'm like, you know, I was working with some showing partners, and I called the agent of this one house down in Saline. And in an hour, I talked to this agent for an hour, and she was writing a book about, I can't remember what it was about. I could have told you at the time. Active listening doesn't mean active remembering.
I was going to say an hour is a long time too.
It is. We talked for a long time.
Yeah.
But by the time we were done,
did you get the?
By the time we were done, I knew every offer that was on this property.
Yeah.
I knew exactly where we needed to come in on. Like, I knew exactly. Unfortunately, the client, I wasn't on the negotiation side. The client was not listening. And if we would have gotten the house, because I had the in. All we had to do was go in at this one price, right? But in an hour time, I knew how that she was a part-time now. She used to be full-time. She was writing a book. She had this photographer. She's from Australia. Like, I knew all this stuff. And then once somebody starts talking, then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I've got 5 deals on the house so far. 2 of them came in $10,000 under asking price. If somebody could get closest to asking price, we'd sign over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're on the other side of that, right, do not tell people that. But when you have a conversation and you just listen to the other side, then it gives them, they just start going, they talk, and then you become a better negotiation expert. You take notes, you write this stuff down, you listen for the keywords, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to do it within a compliancy way. But if the person's talking about how much, their grandfather is this back tree in the backyard, they buried him under there or something crazy like that. Hey, we're getting to the closing table. I love remembering stuff like that. And the tree is this is a real scenario, by the way. This happened on a deal I closed. All we talked about was how great this tree was and how much they're going to respect that and keep up with all the lawn. That's all the seller wanted. Mm-hmm. The seller, we got a deal based on the fact that these people were going to respect the property, and they didn't even remember. The agent doesn't remember telling me all this stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the best part.
Yeah.
We've talked about psychics before, and I tried showing you the rabbit hole of like how they're all fake. All psychics are fake. Mm-hmm. And how they do their stuff and how they do cold reading, right? The thing that's interesting once a psychic leaves, if you go into a psychic thing and you leave, do you remember us talking about this?
I do, yeah. I just don't remember
which part of it.
Going.
People will have this idea that the psychic knew everything.
Oh, yeah.
And what they forget is that they literally gave all that information away before they even walked into the place. So psychics will have greeters. So when you walk into a big event, somebody's talking to you, there's some places that will just have you write it down on a sheet of paper. And then you forget, you walk in. Or you start conversation with somebody. Hey, what are you here? Well, I'm here because I'm hoping that I hear from my grandma. She was my, mama was my, friend or whatever. And they say some key word and the person notes it down. When they pass that to the psychic, then the psychic's like, I need somebody that has a grandma. And everybody raises their hand and they're all like, that's me, this guy. Except for this person calls his grandma mama. And the guy's like, how would he ever know that? I've never told anybody.
Yeah.
Well, 4 minutes earlier, you said everything.
Yeah, I agree.
The same thing happens in this business. People will tell you everything if you're a good audience member to their show.
I agree.
So what are some tips? Do you remember any of the tips and tricks that I taught you how to do this when it comes to active listening?
Active listening?
Yeah. Do you remember any of these?
No, not yours specifically. I can't really.
Well, mine are all stolen, so it's all right.
I know. But what I do with active listening, sometimes I will catch myself and I just like everybody else, I'll keep talking and just shut up somewhere, just stop talking.
Yeah.
But I have this moment where I just become aware because I've learned myself well enough or, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
I know when I'm overdoing it. I just know.
When you're talking too much, you think? Is that what you're saying?
When I'm talking, not that I'm talking too much, I'm talking over people. I'm not allowing someone to even speak to me because sometimes you're saying too much and literally you're going to have more of an understanding of what to say next if you just allow the other person to speak, So instead of going into this long tangent and speaking, just stop talking for a second. So me personally, I'll just become aware and I will, somehow exit the conversation and just sit and listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. A cartoon was happening in my head while I was actively listening. Because that's how actively it goes. But here I see you standing inside of a house and then the person.
So you were not listening.
What's that? And the person, I heard everything you said. The person's like, yeah, I could put an office here and I could do that. And you're just like, shh, just shut your face.
Shut up.
Won't that garage be amazing?
No, I would never.
The guy doesn't. No, you wouldn't. But in my head, in the cartoon that played, I definitely would do that. I think just putting your finger the virus in the middle of talking.
That is so rude. Yeah, that's the worst thing you could do to anybody. Yeah.
Be like, what does this house have that you don't want? Well, I'd really like a shh.
Yeah,
we can put that in.
I do not recommend to do that. It's a horrible idea.
Oh, I want to make a video of that. I think that would be the funniest thing.
Yeah.
You're going to love this house. This is the perfect house for you. there's two things that I wanted to give so that there was some active advice on the show. There's one of them that I had taught, and I love this the most, and I stole this, is Larry Van Buskirk's "Oh, Really, Why's That?" If you want to get to know somebody really well, and you want to get to almost their core driving emotion, sometimes you can use Larry Van Buskirk's "Oh, Really, Why's That?" It's a really simple formula. All you do is ask, "Oh, really, why's that?" over and over and over and over and over again. As many different variations of that as you can. If you do that long enough, and that's all you ask, and you don't insert any information, people will tell you everything. They'll tell you how their grandma votes. They'll tell you their favorite band. They'll tell you whatever you want.
Yeah.
I love, oh, really, why is that? So even when you're inside a home, what is it that you love about this house? Oh, I like the big, beautiful backyard. Oh, really? Why is that? Well, because I have 2 dogs that are the size of dinosaurs, and I need a place for them to run around in the backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, and you just keep going and going. The other one, and I remember teaching you this when we were in Lake Orion together, and that is sometimes we get caught up in a conversation, or we are actively listening, and then we drift, or we don't know where to go next. We've run the script. We've opened it up. What areas do you want to live in? Oh, West Bloomfield. And, you know, and we don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
The cheat code to that is if you get lost, go back. All you have to do is literally re-say whatever the last thing the person said is, and it will keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, so you want to live in Birmingham?
Yeah. What is it about Birmingham that you like? Well, I have 2 massive dogs, and I love the fact that I can walk them down the street and they can, you know, whatever in front of every single business. Oh, great. All right. Where do I go now? What are the massive dogs? Oh, there's a poodle schnitzel wiener thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But even while, you know, you ask that question and then while they're speaking again, you have time to like get your thoughts back together then. That's
do.
what that means.
Yep.
So, okay, now I know. Should I ask if he only wants to live in Birmingham?
Bingo. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's the best way to do it.
In our area, for instance, so having a spot where you can walk downtown with your dog and feel comfortable, like their dog's supposed to be here, that's important to you? Yeah. Have you also looked at Berkeley?
Exactly. Rochester.
Rochester does that too?
You walk around with your dogs?
Well, I've never seen the like bulls sitting outside for them in Rochester. Maybe I just haven't looked.
There's businesses all over that have like
the
dog
bulls
treats.
outside? No kidding.
Yeah, they're not outside. They don't just sit outside.
Oh.
I don't think. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe.
I feel like we should walk downtown Rochester now.
Well, downtown Rochester is completely
Don't you
dog-friendly.
work downtown Rochester?
Yeah, but I'm not always walking the strip. I don't know, Johnny.
I don't know either. So I didn't mean
I'm
to.
just saying, like
Yes.
the restaurants, it's super dog friendly. Everybody has their dog. The park, whatever.
Really?
Rochester, Lake Orion.
See,
most cities are very dog. Anyway, this is a scenario that we're expanding on for no reason.
no, I
The
like this. No,
dog-friendly
this is a
part.
great expand. What other places do you know that are dog friendly?
I don't know. I'm gonna assume Troy.
Ferndale.
Troy.
Yeah, I don't take Princess Angel downtown much to places.
Yeah.
You know, so I have yet to have that. My new dog, I will definitely take downtown.
There you go.
So, oh boy, will go everywhere with me.
Oh
But
boy.
the point is, you're right. So now we got lost.
Yep.
Back to what we were originally talking about, right? The point is, by actively listening and having those conversations, it allows you to get what's important to the person. And then the hack to this, I got in trouble for this one time, but it worked really well. I learned this when I was in auto sales, and we've heard about it in real estate a bunch, and that is the actually mirroring a person. So how the person talks, that's how you talk. If they're slower and they're really like laid back, then you don't have to be, in a rush and blah.
Just calm down.
If they're very much like, hey, I just want to know the details of this, great, I can get you a 68,000 page report with every single home on it, right? Go into RPR, get it printed for them. The thing that I had learned about mirroring and matching that a lot of people miss is get specific right down to the terms that they use. And I remember I learned this, and I used this on this auto deal one time. This guy comes in and he never referred to his wife as his wife. He only referred to her as his ball and chain.
Okay, that's kind of messed up. Huh?
Well, it is what it is. He was an older guy.
Yeah,
So,
that's how they talk.
yeah, that's how all older guys talk, if you want to know.
Okay.
So I actually wrote this in my CRM, and I recommend people do this. And I always, if there's people that use a specific word or phrase, I put it in quotes so that I know this is how they talk about this person. So he comes in. My car manager's there. They're coming in. He's buying the car. His wife comes in. And I just said in front of my manager, I go, oh, it's the old ball and chain. My manager's jaw drops. He's thinking she's going to get mad. He's going to be like, don't talk to my wife like that, blah, blah, blah. No, she goes, that's me. Nerf, nerf, nerf. He's like, yeah, it's her. I got to have her, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, and then my manager's sighing relief. And he's like, why would you say that? And I'm like, dude, I'm mirroring and matching. Like, this is how he referred to her. Like, he referred to her like that, though, like passionately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to call her anything, and instantly comfortable they were, right? So that is a hack. If you get lost, go back. If you want a hack to really build rapport with people, use the exact words that they use.
Yeah.
And how they use them. And it works. Do you have a catchphrase? I just realized. Like, what's a word that I know a word. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to reverse this.
Okay.
I just thought of this. What's a word that I use a lot? Like, do I have a word?
You just scream out random things all the time.
That's the best. I love that answer. That's my favorite answer of all time.
You have multiple. You switch them up.
What? Do I have anything I say a lot? You just scream randomly all the time.
It's true.
That's me.
That's you.
By the way, I'm available on all dating platforms. And the question, what's it like to date? I might clip this and put it there. What's it like to date me? You just yell random stuff
At the most random moments. But it's okay. That's you.
I love that. I think I hear you say the word wild more than any other word in your vocabulary.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. I hear that all the time. I think that might be yours.
Wild.
I'm as I think about all of our conversations, I think I've heard you say that to describe things more than you've used any other word to describe things.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I do. I say it a lot, huh? Maybe I should stop.
Yeah. But think about that. So if I'm using the mirroring matching technique and you're like, that's wild. I'm like, yeah, it's super
Wild,
ridiculous.
Dude.
You're like, what the crap?
I'll be like, we don't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Not
exactly
really.
what happens.
Not really. I would say redonkulous too.
Would you say that?
Yeah, but
You
you're
never
right.
have.
Mirror matching. I don't go up to my clients and be like, that's wild.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
But mirror matching.
Yeah, I try. There's another. Man, do we have time? I'm going to say it anyway. There's another thing that's interesting about that, though. Once you've learned to mirror match, you can then change the temperature of the room. So what I mean is, if you've got super grumpy guy that's sitting across from you, as long as you don't overdo it. Now, on the show, I know it's hard for people to believe. Might even be hard for people in my life to believe that I know how to tone down and ramp up. If I'm sitting across from super old grumpy dude, and he's all like, "I didn't want to move, but I got to," right? Like that guy. I understand, right? However, right? And then we'll just talk about facts. I'm on his side. Life sucks. But I'm slowly going to adjust up by just 10 degrees. And eventually, I can even get him to straighten up a little bit. And then we just start looking at the positives of things. If they're super negative, it takes an hour of conversation before this dude will say anything positive.
Yeah.
Well, at least on a day like today, the sun isn't beating down so hot. Yeah, it's going to snow soon, though. Okay. But we won't have to shovel that anytime because of the rain. I wouldn't have to shovel it off. I wasn't moving into a new home where they don't take care of my lawn anymore. Well, hey, how about those Tigers? You caught any good games recently? I used to play baseball. That was until Nam 99 was. I don't know when Nam was. Nope. Anyway, mirror match.
It. Yeah, no, I get it.
Mirror match. mirror match, enjoy your clients, and at the end of the day, be a good audience member.
Yes, absolutely.
Some, it's that time. I know, it went fast.
Design. Go back in, turn off the lights, and shut the door. Make sure it's loud. We're ending open house the podcast.
The door is open, so come on in.
He said I ran.
Sound check
I
done.
feel like I'm doing.
Let's begin. Breaking news. The guest is you. Streaming live for you to view.